Welcome inside the Valley View Casino Center, where it's 1 versus 2 in the Pacific Division between the Tacoma Stars and the San Diego Sockers. Mark Serba alongside Nate Abarea. And Nate, these teams played in 3 one-goal matches last season, and it's very much the same cast of characters this time around.
Close, tightly contested arena soccer matches. That's the theme when Tacoma and San Diego go head-to-head. Very much could be the same here this evening, Mark.
The Tacoma Stars come in with a record of 4-1, a half game ahead over the San Diego Sockers, and they have that game in hand as San Diego comes in at 4-2 on the season.
Well, the Sockers, Mark, just glad to be home, and I think I speak for quite a few people in the arena here this evening. It's been far too long since we've been here at the Valley View Casino Center. It's good to be back on air with you watching wherever you may be tuning into this one at here this Friday evening, December the 2nd. San Diego Sockers players, I think more than anyone, glad to be done with a long, strenuous road trip that, Mark, you got to say, didn't go half bad.
No, 2-2 on the road, 4 games in the space of 3 weeks. And for this Tacoma side, well, they're playing their third of a 4-game road trip, but they've won 3 games on the trot.
Definitely the hot team of the two here this evening. The Tacoma Stars, they've got quite a bit on their side as far as the momentum goes, and the Sockers looking to kind of hush that here this evening. Again, try to calm things down after that long road trip. You know how things can get when things go on the road longer and longer and longer, and finding that calm here this evening I think is going to be a big key for the Sockers here, Mark.
So much history between these two franchises over the years in indoor soccer. These teams met from 86 through 88 in 3 straight semifinal matches. And then just last year, they played to an epic 98 playoff battle, which was only settled by Anthony Medina in overtime before the Sockers would take Game 2, 11-3. But before that, in the penultimate game of the regular season, it was the Tacoma Stars winning 98 when Michael Ramos scored in the last minute.
So much excitement between these two sides in the 2015-16 campaign. And you talk about the history between these two teams, Mark. When you look at the uniforms of the Tacoma Stars, it might as well be the 1980s.
Oh, great uniforms. Match a team that one time got over 20,000 fans in the building. The San Diego Sockers looking to get their fans into it here from the early going. They're coming off a 12-6 win over the El Paso Coyotes in a match in which Max Touloute had 5 goals and 1 assist, and Matt Clare, usually known as a goal scorer, but he had 1 goal and 4 assists, and he now leads the MASL in assists with 10.
Matt Clare turning into Mr. Distribution, from leading goal scorer to distributor extraordinaire. Hey, do anything you can to help the team. Matt Clare, definitely someone who can help the Sockers be successful here this season. Did it last season all year long. Again, that was more scoring the goals, but now he's the assist master early on in the 2016-17 season. However, Mark, I don't think we've heard the last of Matt Clare, the goal scorer. I think that will definitely continue to be a theme. He'll get the scoring boots back on at a certain point this season. But, hey, when you maybe go a little cold as a striker, why not turn in to the assist master that he's turned into?
We saw that a bit last year with Craig Childs, who, by the way, is just 6 goals away from tying Bronco Segota at 298 for the all-time scoring ledger for the San Diego Sockers. But Childs wasn't necessarily getting his 3 to 4 goal games. He was maybe getting 1 or 2, but he was getting 3 to 4 assists as well.
Absolutely, and obviously Childs, someone who will do anything and everything to help this team win. And in watching Craig Childs during the warm-ups, I'll tell you what, Mark, he's almost looking poised to break that record tonight, the way he was warming up. And we don't want to read too much into pregame shots on goal, but if there was any one player before the opening whistle here this evening that's really looked in tip-top form, it was Craig Childs.
Well, 2 goals in each of his last 2 games, Craig Childs, as it's the San Diego Sockers in all white with light blue socks who will be attacking to your left. The Stars will have the kickoff. They're attacking to your right.
What the aesthetically pleasing uniform matchup this evening. Just good-looking kits all around.
And the big news for the San Diego Sockers is that Brian Farber is back in the lineup.
Good to see Farber back in. Sockers have had a few players, early season injury struggles. Again, good to see Farber back in the fold. Good to see the Sockers back home. Happy December to you, Mark.
Movember is over, the mustaches have been shaved, and we are getting set for major Arena Soccer League action here in San Diego in the early parts of December, as Megson's going to chip it into the corner to get us underway. As Touloute, selected to the MASL Team of the Week, wins the free kick off the handball.
I think, Mark, if you were to make a team of the season thus far. We're so early in this thing, but if there was a team of the season thus far, I wouldn't be surprised if Toulouse was on that team as well. He's been stellar from opening day on.
Early touch from Evan McNeely out of bounds. McNeely, of course, back after joining the Stars from the Sockers in the offseason. Will turn 34 tomorrow, so happy birthday to him. And this is Claire. Off the boards for Toulouse. Still no Eddie Velez after getting injured in the first game. As this one rolled in the box, lovely interplay. Claire overran it. And he'll get it back to Gonzalez, who had 3 assists in the win over El Paso.
Like the stuff from the Sockers from the beginnings with the first half line change there. Real patient build-up.
Beautiful flick and a tremendous finish.
That is magnificent all around. Patient build-up. Beautiful stuff. Using the entire field. And it ends up with a fantastic finish for Childs. That's just great soccer.
Craig Giles, who else? But the assist came from Brian Farber. Gorgeous flick to the back post. And Childs got all of that.
Back onto the team sheet. Right back onto the stat sheet. Good on you, Farber. As Childs throws the celebratory souvenir soccer ball into the stands. 1-0 SD. 14:05 left in the first quarter. Good start, San Diego.
12th goal of the season for the man who came in tied in second in goals in the MASL.
Should we get the tracker going? 5 away now.
And the space has opened up for Kyrell. Toth cut down the angle. And then Oliveira will be whistled for the foul. Brazilian not at all happy about that. Kyrell's gone blonde. I think that's a whole bottle of peroxide right there.
Certainly has. Let's just say noticeable. Even from way up here. Hard to miss number 16 this evening.
Kyrell off the boards. It was gorgeously drawn up, but it's put over the bar by Hansen. Well, Kyrell, and you can see the IQ that he has. Got a huge, huge compliment from his head coach, Darren Zawatsky. I asked about the speed of him and Ramos, and Zawatsky said, hey, as these guys continue to learn the indoor game, I think in a few years they will be in the mix for MVP.
I thought you were going to tell me he complimented him on his hair.
If I'd known about it before today, I definitely would have asked. Still a good drawn-up play from Darren Zawatsky. Almost led to the equalizing goal, but it remains 1-0 inside the first minute and a half for the San Diego Sockers, who are looking for more from that man, Childs. Unable to get by his former teammate, McNeely. And here's another former Socker in Antoniuk. Antoniuk in his 11th season with his 7th different club. Left for the Stars last year after being with San Diego from 2011 to 2015. And this is McNeely. McCluskey dispossessed. Queiroz. The ageless wonder leaves it off for Captain Spectacular. And this is Gonzalez. Into the corner for Toulouse. And he'll hit the reset button.
Again, patient build-up from the Sockers. Good stuff. Good possession-oriented football early on here at the Sports Arena.
Won by Keats.
Unfortunately, came to a rather crashing close there on that spell.
Selection of the week, 4 team of the week. Corey Keats. And he'll get it off to Danny Waltman.
Between that team of the week and a few other guys you'd say were on the fringe of getting onto that team of the week, there are a lot of in-form players in this contest here this evening. I'm talking players from both sides.
And one thing we haven't talked about is we're seeing a matchup of 2 of the best goalkeepers, and some would say not only in the MASL right now, but 2 of the best goalkeepers of all time.
Certainly high praise. Definitely could make the argument, as we may see one of those goalkeepers put to a bit of a test here. No, the Sockers defense does a decent job. Well, almost gave it away there. And look out here as we head the other way.
It's a gorgeous turn from Moscoto, almost able to chip Waltman. And then Waltman comes out to clear it away from Tulute. He did a good job to catch the corner of the glass, so it wasn't delay of game.
Frantic stuff there from the Tacoma goalkeeper. Both wearing the bright colored orange, and in Toth's case, orange and yellow goalkeeper top.
Well, you have in Toth the top goalkeeper in terms of save percentage at .785 and goals against average at just over 4 a game. And in Waltman, you have the reigning goalkeeper of the year. Beat out none other than Boris Pardo, the backup goalkeeper for the Sockers, who had 11 saves and was honorable mention in the win against El Paso.
One thing that doesn't show up on the stat sheet is how good Chris Toth can be. Well, I was going to say with his feet and on cue. He gives it away.
Ramos leaves it off, and Toth makes amends.
Well, Toth makes up for it with those goalkeeper gloves in the end of it, but Toth is someone who really prides himself on his distribution ability, his ability to play with his feet, be a true sixth player out there for the Sockers, more than just a goalkeeper, but definitely got the mulligan there after a bad giveaway. The ball was at his feet.
Good defending from Claire. Still work to be done, but the ball zipped in the hands of Chris Toth. And there's the distribution from him for Farber. Flash plays it across to Tulute. Tulute works himself into the corner. Well, almost a lovely spin to get out of it, but instead it's going to be mown to clear. He's got himself in a bit of trouble. Childs! Waltman doing what he does best.
If that one goes in, I'm saying he's breaking the record tonight. Instead, the lead here in this game remains 1-0 for the Sockers. But Craig Childs, I'm telling you, just watching in warm-ups, there's something buzzing tonight.
He's screaming for the ball. Finally, Gonzalez gets it to him. This is Queiroz. Tulute looking to get by Peterson. Waltman smothers it.
That is a great hold there from Waltman to not spill, not let any rebound come out of that. No, many a goalkeeper coach will be very happy with that last display from Waltman. No spill, never.
Well, Maltman's played all over the country in the indoor soccer leagues, but really Tacoma Stars through and through. His dad was one of the owners of the team during the 80s and the 90s. And then you have a player like Megson, whose dad was a member of the team for 9 years.
Well, that's special, Mark. You're talking about someone in Waltman who grew up going to games, obviously, with his dad in the role that he was in. Waltman, somebody who grew up watching the Tacoma Stars, and now he's the main man in goal. There's just something special to that. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the level. You have childhood connections and childhood roots with a team that you end up playing for. It's just downright cool.
You want to talk about connections. Danny Waltman was teammates with his head coach, Darren Zawadzki, with the Seattle Sounders in the USL all the way back in 2004.
Definitely aging the two gentlemen a little bit, but they both still have plenty to offer, both on the field and psychologically, in terms of the head coach nowadays on the Tacoma side.
Good job to get his body in the way there.
Going back to Darren Zawadzki, Mark, the Tacoma Stars head coach. You had a fantastic chat with Coach Zawadzki, and he was very candid in terms of his assessment of many of these players and talking about how much they've grown as indoor players over the last year, something he's been very, I don't want to say surprised by, but just very pleased with in terms of the progress of a few of the key guys on this team who are, relatively speaking, especially when you compare to somebody like Craig Childs on the San Diego Soccer side or someone like Waltman in goal for Tacoma, guys who are newer to the indoor game. And he's saying how much their indoor IQs have really grown and how much that's helped them as a team.
Well, he said if you take away Danny Waltman, I think Craig Childs has played more games than our entire team combined, but he said, they're really learning a lot. And he talked about When he came in with a 3 to 5 year plan. Didn't want to, well, obviously wants to win right away, but is really building something toward the future. Well, in just their second year, they went from 4 wins to 13. Identical regular season record to the Sockers, and then almost got to them in the playoffs. So the Sockers got that first game in overtime 9-8 before running away with the second game, and now in first place in the Pacific Division. So I think they're ahead of schedule.
It's part of the plan, and there's certainly going to be more speed bumps along the way. It's not going to be a clean cruise control type route by any means for Tacoma, but again, loved hearing from Sawatsky saying, hey, I am actually very pleased with how things have gone in terms of the growth of this team, something that a lot of people didn't expect to happen this quickly, as you touched on there, Mark.
So this one will come all the way back for Waltman. 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's been fast and physical. What we expect from these two teams is this is Johnson. Played forward for Farber. Just lost his footing as Moan got back. Left it off for Cox, who gets it back to Waltman. And touch on for Evan McNeely. 14-year veteran. Has won 3 championships. Zips it into the corner.
We were joking about Kyrell's hair a little bit earlier. Look out for him. Look out for that shot there. That was from McNeely. Talking about the hair of number 16. Watch out for the play of number 16 here this evening. He's definitely someone with an eye for goal. Currently positioned here on this near side, but the Sockers are going to transition the other way.
Tovar steps in. 3-on-4 going the other way. And almost slipped in, and they're going to get the free kick. And a power play to boot. So it's going to be Evan McNeely heading to the sin bin. And it came in after the pass was already made.
You know, it's a tough one for McNeely there. You say that it came in after the pass was made, and I think McNeely is having a conversation with the official right now, and the official saying, hey, you kind of left me no option. I understand the claim that you're making right now, which is that Luan Oliveira kind of just kept going into you. You weren't necessarily going to trip him up. Definitely was a little bit painful for LSO, but Oliveira, I think, knew what he was doing there and did a great job drawing that foul, and left the conversation there that lasted about 10-15 seconds between McNeely and the center referee saying, come on, what was I supposed to do? I tried to avoid him.
So the Sockers will go on the power play, chance to increase their lead. 5 for 16 with the man advantage this year. It's 10th in the MASL. What do they have to do to break down this Tacoma penalty kill?
Well, I was going to say, this is the type of stuff at home. Talking about being back at home. Scoring on the power play at home is such a big thing. You get the crowd into it anytime you get an opposition player to the box. So look for a little bit of added intensity. Look for the Sockers to maybe move away from what has honestly been very, very good, patient stuff for the majority of this first quarter. Look for them to be a little bit more direct here on this power play with the man advantage. Yeah, you got to move the ball around as much as you can, but look for the Sockers to really just go at goal as much as they can, be real direct. It'll start here with an obvious direct attempt from you-know-who, the Pride of Poway, number 37, Craig Childs. Or will it be Toulouse?
Toulouse goes for glory. Another good save from Danny Waltman.
Maybe not as much of a save as just a survival mechanism there from Danny Waltman. But it'll go down as a save officially.
Childs.
There is no survival mechanism stat.
Sockers moving the ball from side to side.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. This is good stuff from the Sockers. We've seen them do this even when the teams are even up. They've been great in terms of patient, quality build-up here this evening, but let's see somebody go at goal. Let's see Craig Childs crack one here.
Childs steps into one. Rebound falls for Gonzalez. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Childs looking for the curler. Toulouse wants it inside that box. Childs! 2-0.
He's breaking it tonight.
2:94 for for Craig Childs. He's just 4 away now.
He's breaking it tonight, Mark. What a start for Craig Childs in this game. Needed 6 to get the record this evening. He's already got 2. Haven't played a full 11 minutes yet.
It's a power play goal for the San Diego Sockers.
Troubling sight here for the Sockers after the goal, Mark. Not to rain on the parade too much, but we saw Brian Farber make a mad dash towards the tunnel. He was followed by one of the Sockers' assistant coaches. Not a good sight there. So we're talking in Farber, someone who has just returned from injury. Potentially something aggravated for number 7.
The Farber's been very smart with it. He said, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to do anything that's going to keep me out even longer. Said it's been absolute agony having to watch these games. This one into the corner for Megson. Leaves it off, played over the boards. Toth had that all the way. 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. 2-0. San Diego leads Tacoma on a double from Craig Childs. Now has 6 goals in his last 3 games. Even more importantly, he's inching closer and closer to Bronco Segoto's all-time scoring record. 294, trying to catch up to 298. And this time, he leaves it off for Escoto.
Okay, he needs to score 5 more times tonight to break the record. Need to score 4 more to tie the record. Been a little audacious when we say he could break it tonight, but at the pace he's at, you never know.
Not exactly sure what this is here. Free kick for the Sockers on the far side of the boards.
I think too many people were not too sure what that was. Cowboy Salazar down there by the Tacoma bench, one of the Sockers' biggest fans. He was real upset about the confusion. Saying, get it together.
Ramos flies through the middle, takes himself out wide. Played behind Ramos, and Queiroz is there. Off the boards for Escoto, and it's a 2-on-1. Important intervention from Keats. Johnson for the quick shot, and the rebound. Tremendous save by Toth.
What a save, Toth. Big stop there. The Sockers netminder. Diving to the right. Great reflexes, and look out at the other end.
Reza jumps into the attack. Far post, and played it behind. Reza follows it up,
and
it's 3-0.
No! It was another great save at the other end by his opposite number, Danny Waltman. Each goalkeeper making fantastic saves, but terrible luck for Waltman as one of his own defenders came crashing in there. The ball ricocheted off and in. Not sure who's claiming it.
Reza was definitely claiming it.
Reza's definitely saying that one's mine, but very unlucky for Waltman, and they're claiming that there should have been a foul, I believe, on Reza.
But you have to love that, a defender coming out of the back, jumping into the attack, and continuing his run.
You gotta love the effort from Reza end to end, because you never know. When is it too late to join an attack? Never. When is it too late to make that extra run? Never. You never know. The way that thing ricocheted, it was real funky. Nothing real fluid about it in the end of it. As far as the deflection, there was everything fluid in terms of the run of Reza. Never stopped. Great momentum all the way up the pitch. And I guess it ain't cheating if it doesn't get called. Good physicality at the end of it. Make any forward proud with the way he bundled that one in.
Oh, almost a gorgeous move from the Tacoma Stars. But instead, it's cleared downfield. So we head into the final minute and a half of the first 15. Jose Roberto gets back to Toth.
Great stuff there by Childs just to get that one over to Matt Clare. Good stuff by Clare to pick up the speed to get to that loose ball. It's the little things can take a team far. A couple of examples right there from Childs and Clare. Nothing spectacular. It was just a couple of touches in the middle of the park, but who knows what it could have prevented there. Tacoma would have taken possession.
Jose Roberto, 45 seconds left.
The deep end soccer supporters section screaming one more goal, one more goal. Let's get a fourth before the end of this first quarter. Mighty fine scoreline, though, considering the way this game has gone. Quality soccer being played by both sides. San Diego with the 3-0 lead. Definitely got to feel very good about where things are. Could it be a fourth here, though?
Jurtson has his pocket picked. So close. Final 15 seconds. Megson overran it. Now Oliveira will get it back to Toth. Is there a chance for one more shot? Well, that's going to do it. 3-0 San Diego leads after 15. A brace for Craig Childs. And then Reza bulldozing his way through the middle, able to force the ball over the line. Thoughts on the first quarter, Nate Abarea?
Craig Childs, welcome back home. I mean, the fan favorite here has been the MVP of this game, the way he's been the MVP of so many seasons and games of the past. He's doing it again here tonight. 2 of the 3 goals from the captain, number 37. Good stuff from Craig Childs, good leadership, good smooth stuff from the Sockers here on this Friday night at the Valley View Casino Center, Mark.
We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today. Hi. Thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service.
If you're Tacoma, are you generating enough offense?
We'll talk about superheroes. Toth has been a superhero for the Sockers so many times. Really only one time in that first quarter was it a fantastic save, and it was a mighty fine save, sprawling out to his right. Great reflex save and a full dive to his right side. I mean, if you're Tacoma, no, you're not doing enough. There definitely needs to be a little bit more urgency, and they need to pick it up. And, you know, at the end of the day, 3 goals down after 15 minutes, by no means the end of the world. And so you definitely have plenty of time to get back into this game, but things have got to change in the second half, and got to be able to get a little possession over in the Sockers half. And when it's up there, they did have a few spells of possession in the Sockers half in that first quarter. Got to get some shots on goal, really, besides that one effort that forced Toth into the save that we talked about. There wasn't much for Tacoma.
And you hope that Brian Farber's okay, because if he can't come back, then the Sockers are running with 13.
Running with 13, and I mean, as much of a bummer as that is, it's far more disheartening just seeing Farber have to go back out after all he's done to fight back and get back in to full health, full fitness.
You know, I was talking about Farber, and he said, you know, it's been 2 years, this patella injury, and it's almost worse than an ACL because it hasn't ruptured, so you don't know how bad it really is. He said, it's only been over the last few weeks that I've been able to run without thinking about it. And he said, coming back, you know, it's not just the speed of play. He said, my mind isn't there yet, hoping to get it back. But I'll tell you, he looked pretty sharp on that assist in the opening goal for Childs.
Looked really sharp in the opening first few minutes all over the park. And so, again, hopefully it's all right. Farber, definitely someone who the Sockers could use throughout this season. So hopefully it's not too big of a setback. What we saw make him run back into the tunnel.
We have a great read on MASLsoccer.com, the Movember Awards, and winning goalkeeper of the month, none other than Danny Waltman. So definitely go to MASLsoccer.com and check that out, as well as all scores and all the information you need on Major Arena Soccer League. As we are getting set for quarter number 2. Craig Childs on a hat trick, standing over the ball.
Those were the November Awards, not to be confused with the Movember Awards for Best Mustache during the month of November.
Oh, you're right, it was November Awards.
It was the November Awards. I mean, I'm very curious to know who has the best mustache in arena soccer. There have been some good ones, especially if we go back to the 1980s and early 90s. Then we're talking about mustache mania. some of the great mustaches that were seen in this very arena in the late 80s and early 90s.
Second quarter underway. The San Diego Sockers attacking to the right on whatever device you may be watching on. Mark Serber alongside Nate Abarea. Thank you so much for tuning in, as this is Kyrell. Cut out by Gonzalez, only as far as Mark Lee. Was dubbed the pit bull by his head coach last season. Very tenacious player, Lee. Smart one, too, as he gets it back from McNeely. Have to watch out for that left foot of McNeely. Sockers fans know it well, the rockets he has scored from either outside or just inside that red line.
You talk about the pit bull moments ago. So many center midfielders have known over the years, indoors, outdoors, as teammates, as players I've coached. There's certain midfielders where that is the most flattering thing that you could ever call them. You call that guy who's your in the outdoor pitch a number 6, or in this indoor setting, you know, that center midfield gritty type. There is nothing more flattering that you can call that type of soccer player than a pit bull. It's a great term of flattery.
This is Toulouse. Skips by McNeely.
Toulouse's more of a gazelle himself.
Well, he was delighting the crowd, but perhaps one too many touches. Reza looking for options forward, waiting for changes to be made. Toth. Claire. Toth showing out to the left.
This is what I love to see from Toth. Have a rip.
Wouldn't mind hitting them. Instead lays it off in the corner for Childs.
Smart play in the end of it.
Scored his first ever goal in that 8-7 overtime playoff victory against Tacoma last year. Childs looking to create that half yard of space. Leaves it off for Claire. And the rebound almost snuck in by Reza.
Scramble there in the end from Waltman. Just to do enough to keep that thing out. A couple of fortunate bounces there in the end. Some good desperate defending. Defending in a desperate situation there from Tacoma.
Headed away by Queiroz. And Childs trying to go back to Toth. Almost put him in an awkward situation and apologizes to his keeper.
I think the awkward situation was bottom of the shoes there, Michael Ramos. Toth doesn't like seeing that. If you're a goalkeeper, you do not like seeing the bottom of an opposing forward's cleats.
Floated into the far corner. Henson spins away. Little nudge as well for Escoto. And this is Keats. Waltman. McCluskey double teamed in the corner. And it comes all the way back to Waltman.
Man, McCluskey just taking a beating out of that corner over the last 25 seconds or so. Look at him sprinting to the bench. Love the energy from McCluskey there. There's a basketball player that he reminded me a lot of right there. Maybe it's just because he looks like him, but remember Brian Scalabrine? I'm telling you, that was the Brian Scalabrine of indoor soccer.
This left off, hammered off the near glass. McNeely plays it across. McNeely will go again, almost deflected in. McNeely a third time.
We talked about them needing to take more shots. Guess they heard us.
Ooh, and Toth getting an important touch. McNeely sends it into the mix again. And can the Sockers break? Escoto gets it out wide. Played over the top for Scotty Martin, who's gotten into a forward position.
Go on, Scotty.
Toulouse.
Love to see number 18 pushing up. You see him immediately. Saying, all right, need a breather.
Martin now with 6 games. He's played more than he did last year when he came back from that horrific injury that sidelined him for the 2014-2015 season.
Such a great presence on this team. So good to see Scott Martin playing soccer, doing well for this team, contributing in any way that he can. Say someone who the fans really adore.
One of those guys, too, that just always has a smile on his face.
I think that's part of the reason for the adoration that we see from these fans and from his teammates. He just loves having guys like that around. He's a family man. Loves his young children, getting them involved with the Sockers, having them come out to the games and walk out during the player intros, and someone who is very much a familial type figure on this team.
This is Peterson, one of the many players who Zawadzki's known through his affiliation with the Sounders. Came up through their academy before going to the College of Charleston.
Well, Tacoma Stars, talk about the old Seattle Sounders of the USL and going back to the Pacific Northwest and specifically the Seattle area, the 1970s and 80s, the old North American Soccer League up there and the old MISL. So much fascinating soccer history. And even going back before that, a real unique hotbed of soccer. Not only the entire Cascadia region, all of the Pacific Northwest, but Seattle and the surrounding areas such as Tacoma in particular.
Antoniak leaves it off for Kyrell. Keats. Kyrell again. 9 minutes left in the first half. Jose Roberto tried to flick it on.
You know, if we're talking about sporting lookalikes, I'd say Kyrell reminds me a lot of old Mexico striker Luis Hernandez.
Very much so.
Striking resemblance.
This is Ramos. U.S. Indoor International. Ramos this year also became a member outdoors of the Puerto Rican national team.
Ramos, someone who's a native of the region we were just
He has
talking
some
about.
space here.
He has some space to shoot, indeed. Ramos, a Spokane, Washington native. So not quite the same regional you Washington geography buffs will know that. Save there from Toth. Another good stop.
Did well as that one was almost snuck by him at the near post. And it's Escoto weaving his way through the midfield. Pops it into the corner for Toulouse. And good defending by McNeely.
Okay, just to clarify, Ramos, a Washington native. We'll leave it at that, not get into any geographical mishaps there.
Makes it off the boards. Cox spins away.
Ooh.
And it's still 3-0 thanks to their elastic keeper.
The elastic keeper. Absolutely love it. Toth. Stretch down there.
Might be able to catch him with some space here on the change. And this is Oliveira being watched by Moan. Just look at the way Oliveira stuck his arm out just to see how close the defender was.
Well, look at the way that Oliveira and this one's going to be held in by Waltman. Steve Moan and Oliveira were going at it. Arms were flying in more ways than one there. I'd say this game is getting chippy, but Mark, we've seen games get chippy. This ain't getting chippy. This has been a perfectly clean game thus far. That was just a few flailing limbs, nothing more.
Ramos leaves it off for Keats. Played forward for Megson, brings it down on the chest for Keats, lets one fly. Johnson picks up the pieces. Into the center, hooked away.
Sockers are 3/4 of the way to a first half shutout.
McNeely steps on. Space is opened up for Ramos. And Toth got a touch.
Great positioning there from Toth. Look out, though.
Toth in trouble.
That's a foul.
That's going to be a blue card as well. Oh, no, just a free kick. Beg your pardon. I'm seeing things again, Nate.
Well, it's superhero night. There's a whole lot of crazy buzz in the air right now. Obviously.
I think it was more, really not much in that foul, but a player bought down in a scoring position.
Look at Toth, just in the wall.
Makes it for Ramos. Quickly closed down, far side, and an excellent sliding block. Draws a huge cheer from the crowd. And a timeout taken just under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Nobody has scored yet in quarter number 2 as San Diego has a 3-0 lead. And Nate, Tacoma's starting to grow into this one a bit.
Well, that's why the fact that nobody's scored in the second quarter, Mark, I think that suits the Sockers just fine, because if they can kind of weather the storm here, this has definitely been the best spell of the game for the visitors. They've been all over the Sockers' goal. Chris Toth has just come up with save after save after save. Here on Superhero Night, it's as if he's part of the Fantastic Four. He's got that stretch going on. Telling you, just the presence of Toth that does so much. The way he knows how to get big. He's like a big old spider in there in goal. He definitely knows how to be a real commanding presence. And I don't want to use the word intimidation, but in the moment, in that split second, when a player's trying to shoot on goal, it can be a little intimidating to see a goalie that knows how to really use his size to his advantage. Toth is only 6'1". I hear so many people who they watch Toth for the first time, and they're like, no, that's 6'5", 6'6" goalkeeper for the Sockers. And I think that's just such a testament of how he knows how to use what he's got. He knows how to get big. He knows how to do what goalkeeper coaches teach you to do, and that is just be that as big of a presence as you can be when you're in goal, when you're facing off with a guy 1v1 like we've seen a number of times in this first half.
2 goals for Craig Childs to open the affair, and then a goal for Reza toward the end of the first quarter, and that's where we stand. But the Tacoma Stars have been knocking on the door here in the second.
Well, Mark, you said during the first intermission they maybe needed to test Toth a bit more. Well, they've certainly done that, and Toth has certainly passed every exam.
Ramos this time unable to get it on frame. So goalie restart for Toth. Not a bad play drawn up by Zawadzki, though, out of that timeout.
Oh, no.
Oh, a miscommunication there. Ramos is in, and Ramos just missing.
Agonizingly close. The far post. Play with his back to goal there from Childs. Holding things up for San Diego, the home side in white.
Zé Roberto can't get around his former line mate. And Ramos looking to go again. This is Peterson. And he'll play it back. Will the Stars get fresh personnel out on the field? Final 5 minutes of the first half. Antoniuk. Played to the top. Cox denied. And Toth comes out, pushes it away.
Well out with the feet there, Toth.
This is Jamel Cox. Lovely layoff for Keats.
Great
and
stop.
A sliding block coming in from Felipe Gonzalez.
Great stop from Felipe Gonzalez there. San Jose native. Number 6, Felipe Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, one of the new arrivals in the offseason. As Queiroz saw Waltman off his line.
He's been a welcomed addition to the squad. Felipe Gonzalez.
Said he's still trying to learn the tendencies of every player as it slipped into the near corner by Cox.
Great goal there from Jamal Cox.
And the Tacoma Stars are on the board.
And the Tacoma native christens the visitors' side of the scoreboard with 4:05 left in the second quarter. Great blast, low and hard to the near post there from Jamal Cox.
5th goal of the season for the 24-year-old. Once had a trial at Rangers.
It's good knowledge there, Mark.
His brother not in the lineup tonight, Rafael Cox, who is a former MLS winner with Real Salt Lake.
And that, I believe, came in the year 2009.
Absolutely.
Real Salt Lake defeated the Los Angeles Galaxy on penalties in Seattle. See, Mark spits out these amazing facts, these amazing pieces of research, gets me very competitive. Then I want to start getting back at him. Hopefully, you as the viewer and the listener to all this, you're benefiting. You're soaking all of this information in.
Well, the fact that it was in Seattle, it all comes full circle almost, doesn't it? The space might be open up here. It's Oliveira. Played it to the back post, was looking for that tap in from Childs, but the Stars were wise to it. Something still might be on here for the Sockers. Oliveira wants to get it on that favored left foot. Now looking to cut inside. And that's excellent defending from McCluskey. And McCluskey will win the free kick. And Oliveira has to be careful. He's been going into those challenges pretty tough tonight.
Well, McCluskey's just a guy who can get under your skin. He's the kind of guy you want to have on your team. It doesn't matter if it's indoor soccer, basketball, hockey. He just has that feel of that energy guy, that guy that can just go out and give you a couple of minutes and ruffle the feathers of players on the other team.
A stinging drive from McNeely.
Look over on that Tacoma bench, and you see McCluskey, Seattle native, getting pats on the back from everybody. I love the energy.
Played behind clear, but Toulout's there. He slides it through for Tovar.
Great little through ball there from Toulout.
Shot right into the gloves of Waltman.
Couldn't come off there in the end for Tovar, Mark.
Kyrell, nifty little touch off for McNeely. Continues his run into the corner, but it's intercepted. Zay Roberto reads the game so well. Toulout stretches for it. What can the Haitian sensation conjure up here? Well, he's going to leave it off. So the Sockers will make personnel changes for the final minute and 50 seconds of the first half. Would love to restore that 3-goal lead going into the break. Flighted into the corner. An unfortunate bounce off the top of the boards over the head of Childs.
But as unlucky as you could get there on that one.
Peterson gets it back to his keeper. Minute 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Looking to get within one, the Stars. Keats. Moan. Left on for Keats. And Toth was able to get his shoulder on it, so it's going to be a corner kick. And as all good goalies do when it goes out of bounds, I didn't touch it.
Who touched it? Whose ball? No way. Their ball? Gotta be kidding me. Definitely took a touch there. On its way out, despite the incredible effort there from the Sockers players claiming otherwise.
It was a good save from Toth, who has to deal with a corner kick. Minute remaining. That's left off for Johnson.
Bodies colliding everywhere.
Sockers unable to clear their lines. Keats will come at him again. Ramos showing a few party tricks.
And Matt Clare saying, okay, razzle dazzle, I'm just going to stand here and wait for you to try to pass me, and now I'm going to stand you up.
And it's that one-on-one defending Clare watching the ball instead of the legs of Ramos. So Ramos going to try and go again. Johnson rolls it into the quarter for Antoniuk. 13 seconds left. Sockers just trying to weather the storm. Johnson off the post. Still can't get it clear. 4 seconds left. And Gonzalez able to charge down the shot from Keats, and that is how the first half will end. 3-1 in favor of the Sockers, but it was Tacoma who pulled one back late through Jamel Cox, and they were the better of the two sides in terms of attacking going into the break.
Well, and again, the Sockers kind of weathered the storm that was the second period. The seas were quite rough there in that second 15 minutes, as opposed to the smooth sailing that we saw for San Diego in the first 15. So I think the Sockers have actually got to feel very good, maybe a little bit fortunate even, as far as where the scoreline stands right now going in to the halftime break with a 3-1 lead, thanks to that fantastic first period that saw them outscore Tacoma 3-0.
But Nate, you have to think that this is a game that we thought would go like this. It would come in waves. It would be periods of dominance for each side.
We certainly did, but one thing that we also spoke about that is also important here is the goalkeeping from both ends. And this is a game that has seen plenty of action, plenty of shots, plenty of scoring opportunities for both sides, but it's been low scoring, and that is very much a testament just to each of the men in orange tonight. Toth on the soccer side, of course, and Mr. Waltman, Danny Waltman, the goalkeeper for the Tacoma Stars.
Craig Childs with 2 goals for San Diego. Ray Reza with the 3rd, but Jamel Cox pulled one back late in the second quarter for the Tacoma Stars, and at halftime, it is San Diego 3, Tacoma 1. We are going to step aside, but we'll be back with you for the second half right after this on Major Arena Soccer League TV.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Franck injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
Service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
3-1 at halftime, San Diego over Tacoma. Mark Serber alongside Nate Abaret. And Nate, if you're Phil Salvaggio in the Sockers locker room, what are you telling your team at halftime?
Good first 30 minutes, guys. Way to weather the storm in that second period. The Sockers were very much the superior side in the opening 15 minutes, and the 3-0 scoreline was very just. The one goal that Tacoma got in that second period, you got to say it could have been a lot more. I think if you're Phil Salvaggio, you're feeling very good about where things are considering the way this game has gone.
And if you're San Diego, what are you going to do to generate a bit more offense? Because obviously you have to defend, but got to get forward, got to start putting more shots on Danny Waltman.
Well, they were very patient in that first 15-minute quarter, and I think the patient buildup is something that we need to see come back for the Sockers, because a great way to prevent Tacoma from getting shots on goal and threatening the red posts of Chris Toth is to control the ball and just prevent them from getting the ball. Their possession-oriented soccer was fantastic in the first 15 minutes. It slipped up a little bit in that second period, but again, all the credit there should go to the visiting team who came out on fire in the second 15 minutes, but only got one goal to show for it.
And if you're Darren Zawadzki, obviously only one goal to show for it, but you have to like the way your team finished that half.
You got to like the way things changed there. You got to love the juxtaposition from period 1 to period 2, and maybe it's only a matter of time before the shots start flying past Chris Toth, but I'm sure if you were to ask number 31, he's going to say, nuh-uh, I'm going to keep being the superhero that I am in goal for this San Diego Sockers team. Toth is going to be a pivotal character for the remainder of this drama for the subsequent 30 minutes that we have on our hands. And maybe with the way these two teams have gone toe-to-toe over the last couple of seasons, there might be more than just 30 minutes left in this game.
Who stood out for you in that first half, and who do you think is going to step up big in the second?
Well, Craig Childs obviously was the man of the first half, the man of the first quarter for the Sockers, scoring 2 of the 3 goals, that 3-goal tally that ended up not being upped in that second quarter. The Sockers being shut out in the second 15 minutes, but Childs' leadership, his energy early on. We were talking about Childs before the broadcast started. We were talking about Childs in warm-ups. There's certain guys in the world of soccer, it doesn't matter if it's indoor, outdoor, you can see sometimes even during the warm-up, you can see that there's something different. There's that cutting edge is really there this evening, and that's what we felt with number 37. And what did he do in the opening first few minutes of this game? Scored 2 fantastic goals for the Sockers and put them up into a 2-0 lead, turned into a 3-goal lead, now 3-1 as we get ready for the second half to start. So look for Craig Childs to pick right back up where he left off.
Well, we're getting all set for the second half kickoff coming up. Let's go down to the field for the final 30 minutes. Third quarter about to commence. San Diego will be attacking to your left. They're all white jerseys with blue socks. Tacoma Stars, bit of a throwback. They'll be attacking to your right as Megson gets us underway. Battling with Oliveira, able to get around him, and Oliveira got a foot in, and this time a blue card does come out.
Talk about being direct. Tacoma coming straight off the opening of the second half, going right down the pitch. Getting Oliveira. Or actually, was it Oliveira or was it Zé Roberto? It actually was Zé Roberto, Mark, who committed that foul. He's going to be sent to the box. So the man advantage for Tacoma now. 9 seconds in to the second half.
Obviously nothing played on paper, but the good news for San Diego is Tacoma just 1 for 9, the worst power play in the MASL at the moment. As it is Zé Roberto in the sin bin. Reza has to step high. And this is McNeely, can't let him shoot. Moan. McNeely McNeely's made his way into the arc. Moving the ball around, well, the Tacoma Stars, but a great job by the Sockers to follow their marks. And Queiroz gets it out to Touloute. He has his pocket picked. Touloute doing a good job to stay high, though, and only now can they set their power play, the Tacoma Stars. They do well, but the shot right into the breadbasket of Toth.
Great hands, Chris Toth. No spill, no rebound.
And you have to be aware of number 4, Max Touloute, leads the MASL in shorthanded goals with 2.
He's the guy who can break out with menacing speed. Mr. Transition, go from end to end in the snap of a finger. Such a dangerous weapon for a team on a penalty kill to maybe get a shorty.
That's into the middle. It falls Conley for Jertson. He pushes it back out wide for McNeely. Leaves it off for Jertson. Off the boards, beautifully played, and absolutely nothing Toth could do. It's a power play goal for the Tacoma Stars, who are back within 1.
Tough to see at the end there who it was getting in for Tacoma. Looks like so number 17, Toby Jertson. Actually, no, it was Megson. It was the Tacoma native, number 77, Alex Megson. A little nod there with the celebration at the end of it. Little Brian Laudrup from the 1998 World Cup. The great Danish striker. The little relaxed, lying down celebration.
Ramos. Ramos has fought his way through off the post. And Reza with the clearance.
God, you can just tell Ramos is on a different level.
That's twice now that Ramos has hit the post tonight.
Will a third time come, or will a third time be a charm? It's come oh so close a couple of times. But just the skill on the ball from Ramos, you can see why he's a national team player in the indoor ranks. It's definitely cut above so much of this league as far as just that pure individual skill goes.
Keats, get it back to his keeper. Deep end is in full voice. Great gesture from them as they hung a huge banner down in front of them that says Forza Chape. As the shot comes in, toe that full stretch. And a bad giveaway, and taking full advantage of the Tacoma Stars, who have drawn level at 3.
Derek Johnson with the fine volleyed finish. Low and hard. Past Toth. 3-3, we're level. Each team has scored a streak of 3 goals in this game. Tacoma's was quite a bit more drawn out. Sockers came in a real hurry early on in this game when they jumped out to a 3-0 lead. But Tacoma, slowly but surely, 1, 2, and now 3. 12:09 left in the third quarter mark. We're deadlocked. Right back where we started from.
2 goals in the space of less than 3 minutes to open up this third quarter for the Tacoma Stars, and it's game on again at the Valley View Casino Center, and Phil Salvaggio doing the smart thing and taking a timeout to see if the San Diego Sockers can shake off the cobwebs.
Phil Salvaggio were a director of a Hollywood motion picture right now. He'd be yelling, cut, 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 cut. Need a new take. You see the Sockers. They're anxious to come out. Tacoma, they're still meeting up, talking about things. Sockers are coming out saying, can we go? We're ready. We're fired up. Whatever the coach said, it's got us ready to go.
What a finish, though, from Johnson. I mean, it felt kindly for him, but you still have to hit that right. It was pure technique.
Oh, is there anything better for a goal scorer than just that clean hit on a volley right off the laces? And that one, actually a little bit of that side swing right there looked real good. It's just it's an aesthetically pleasing goal, and it's one that if you've ever scored one in your life, you just know how good that clean volley hit feels.
This is Touloute. Sockers would love to get him higher up the field.
It's been a bit of a missing character in this game. Obviously, the standards are so high for Touloute because of how he's played early in this season, and the reigning members of the team of the week in the league. Salute. Really someone who's hasn't been involved in the attack the way we've seen him in other games this season.
Escoto.
Will that change before the evening is over?
Smartly off the boards for Medina. Medina.
Tulute was making the run up there.
It was a nice idea from Medina, trying the reverse pass to the back post where Escoto was lurking. And this is McNeely. That's better from the Sockers, though. Now back on the defensive end. Megson spinning. Megson somehow getting a shot off. And it's Escoto again. Childs. Two players pouring forward. And sliding out as Waltman. And Childs trying to catch the keeper off his line. Puts it over.
Well out with the feet there from Waltman. Great read of the game from number 24. Ever important quality of any goalkeeper. Ability to read the action. Be a true student of the game. Also be able to make the split-second decisions.
It's a 2-on-1 here. Gerritsen is in. Gerritsen plays it across behind Keats. Oh, San Diego dodged a bullet. Things have really opened up here. Martin. Childs working against Peterson. Childs gets a half yard of space and skips it right through Waltman. Hat trick for Craig Childs, and the Sockers are back on top.
Needed 6. The Ty Bronco tonight. He's halfway there. He's got the hat trick. As Craig Childs will tell you, much more important than any kind of record this evening is the fact that he just put his team in the lead. They've got the lead back. It's 4-3, 10-13 left here in the third.
It was a giveaway from the Tacoma Stars. And Childs said, thank you very much. Excellent little move to get that half yard of space he needed off Peterson.
That's all he needs, Mark. That's all he needs is just that extra half inch of space. When you put it low, good things can happen. Ended up, I think Megan, the keeper there, went right between the wickets of Waltman.
$2.95 for Craig Childs.
Scotty Martin with the assist. Something that's definitely going to make the fans quite happy.
Escoto. Silky from Escoto, cleared off the line.
That was almost one of the plays of the week right there.
Think he heard that he got the assist, or Scotty doesn't know?
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty over the ball. Martin leaves it off for LSO. Into the center for Escoto. Has his pocket pick. McNeely sees Toth off his line and very nearly caught him. Not bad from Evan McNeely.
Not bad at all. Audacious. Toth nearly caught out.
Ramos flying through the middle. Claire gets in front of him.
It's another player hoping to see more of in the second half, Matt Clare. You look at Clare and Tulute, so often, number 99 and number 4 for the Sockers have been in defensive positions. You haven't really seen them be able to get advanced and contribute to the Sockers attack the way that they'd like to. And I gotta say, a lot of the credit for that, it's more a testament, I think, to Tacoma's organization than anything poor on the Sockers side. They've really just done a good job shutting down the most dangerous weapons, some of the most dangerous weapons on the Sockers side. Struggled keeping Craig Childs in check. He's already got 3 goals on the evening. As far as those speedy guys, Tulute and Clare have been slowed down. Space has been hard to come by.
Well, 3 of Tulute's 5 goals against El Paso came from Matt Clare. Still looking to combine tonight for the first time, though, but the Sockers do have the 4-3 lead and the free kick. 8:42 left in the third as Waltman sprawls to make the save.
Great save.
And it caught a piece of the glass on the clearance from Ramos. So it's going to be a kick-in instead of a delay of game. Claire gets it back for Childs. He tries his luck from distance. Keats pokes it forward for Lee, but Childs steps in front. Ramos.
You're gonna love Claire defending Ramos tonight, saying you can do all the fancy footwork you want, all the step overs. I'm just gonna wait for you to come at me.
McNeely has it on that favored left foot. Peterson. Toulouse defending high. And slip through for McNeely. Outside the foot, into the far post, and poked away. Now Toulouse can run one-on-one against McNeely. Slips by him, Toulouse in. And Toulouse stalled by Danny Waltman.
Great determination there from Toulouse. I thought the chance had gone once, twice, even 3 times there. Toulouse just kept on going, never wanted to quit.
Well, that was amazing speed from Peterson to catch up to him.
Fantastic makeup speed down the stretch there. The final lap of a horse race there. Those 2 speedy gentlemen. Just a downright foot race.
Gonzalez pokes it on for Medina, but he loses out to Kyrell. Now Keats will settle things down. Back to Waltman. It's a bit like watching a pitcher's duel, isn't it? Between Waltman and Toth.
It really is. Definitely becoming 2 of the most pivotal characters this evening. Both doing everything they can to give their side that slight advantage. Really in both goalkeepers' cases at some point tonight, they've done a great job keeping their team in the game. To weather the storms of opposition attacks.
McCluskey wins the free kick.
Tacoma, they've got some pesky guys on this roster. Definitely a feisty bunch and an energetic bunch. You love the intensity. Nothing dirty, anything like that. It's all just good, competitive desire for these guys on the Tacoma side. I think McCluskey as much as anybody tonight. That's got to be a foul.
McNeely bringing down Felipe Gonzalez, and he's going to go to the box for the 2nd time tonight.
McNeely did everything he could to track back. Talk about good backtracking defending.
Craig Childs letting the referee know that that's 2 blue cards on Evan McNeely. Now he's going to have a word with the scorekeepers as well.
Well, what are we going to see from the Sockers here? Start this power play.
Sockers 1 for 1 on the power play this evening.
We'll see if they can get something straight off this set piece. Something directly on goal. Something off the training ground.
Childs blocked on the line by Keats. Otherwise, that was going in.
I like this line out here for the Sockers right now. It's a strong scoring line. This is what you want to see on the field for you. And you got the man advantage. And they make the score 5-3.
Tacoma defending in an elongated box. Can the Sockers break it down? Gonzalez. Childs into the corner for Tovar. Rather popped up his first touch, so has to settle it back.
Oliveira
over the crossbar.
You can see that just developing in slow motion there. Oliveira knew it was coming. Hit it a little high in the end of it.
Clear in the box. It skips through for Oliveira and poked away from him by Jensen. Childs.
Good looking first minute of the penalty kill for Tacoma. Not giving anything easy San Diego here on this power play.
Chase Henson defending in the corner. Gonzalez. Oliveira walks it in, not allowed to get the cross off. And the boards falls kindly for Childs.
Man, good stuff defending. And the visitors in the retro dark blue.
Tovar tries to walk his way in. Gonzalez quickly closed down and then ballooned over by Matt Clare. 27 seconds remaining on the power play and a timeout taken, and smartly so, from Darren Zawadzki, just to give his beleaguered defense a breather.
Give him a breather, but how about the minute and 33 seconds there? I mean, the penalty kill is one of the most interesting things to watch, and I think one of the most underrated things in all of indoor soccer. Everybody talks about how fun it is to watch teams on the power play, how aesthetically pleasing that is, how cool to the eye the power play in indoor soccer is. There's some people who maybe overlook just how interesting to watch the penalty kill is, and seeing what these guys have to do, the additional assignments that they have to pick up, how every man out there has to have his head on a swivel, and it's just a hope for survival in so many ways, but your sense of determination can help you survive the 2 minutes of the penalty kill efforts. And Tacoma right now, 1 minute and 33 of the 2 minutes they've killed off, and it was just great stuff defensively from the visitors there.
And Peterson particularly impressive with those 2 blocks there.
Oh, the lunging challenges, the desperation slides. I mean, they needed every inch of it, and they got it. Not done yet with this penalty kill. And then if they are able to kill off the remaining 27 seconds of the Sockers power play, still trail by a goal in this game. Gonna have to get one back. Goals very much at a premium this evening. There may not be all too many more. But of course, as we all know so well, that can change in a flash.
15 seconds left on the power play for the San Diego Sockers. Childs. It's open up for Gonzalez. Slices across the ball. Fights his way into the corner. Queiroz steps in to win it back. The penalties killed Queiroz' shot, blocked by Waltman. Oliveira, Lee policing him, gets it back to Clare. Now the Sockers making changes. Cerda. Zé Roberto on the far side. This is Cerda. And Jarrettson stepped in well there, but also stepped into Talute.
Talute saying, that's what's going to happen. Try to step into me.
This is Matt Clare.
Good tackle there. Corey Keats.
Toe this out. Cerda gets it back from Childs, works his way into the corner. Felt he was muscled off the ball, but the referee says it's clean. Final 3 minutes of quarter number 3. Rolled up the wall for Ramos. And the elbow came up. So it'll be a free kick for the Sockers. We'll be right back here next week as the San Diego Sockers will take on the Turlock Express. Still plenty of work to be done, though, against the Tacoma Stars. 4-3 with 2.5 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Oliveira. Tovar. Eric Tovar will get it back to Cerda. Hands it off to his keeper. 2 of them play catch. You can feel the drama building here in the Valley View Casino Center as we finish out this third quarter and head into the final 15 minutes. Queiroz. The Sockers looking to press here, and they've won it back. Gonzalez screaming for it in the middle. Still trying to fight it, Gonzalez. And Peterson just didn't get up.
Great defending.
And that's exactly what I would have done.
Great defending for the seat of his pants.
Antoniuk. Final minute of quarter number 3. Oh, it's a giveaway.
More good defending, though, from Tacoma. No panic.
It was Keats that time. And Gonzalez trying his luck from distance.
You know, Keats, one of just a handful of players not hailing from the state of Washington on this Tacoma Stars roster.
This is Escoto.
Keats, a Michigan guy from Armada, Michigan.
Toth. Less than 20 seconds, and it's won back by Reza. Left off for Queiroz. His shot repelled.
10 seconds here.
And Toth is going to get it forward. And it's left on for the flick on, and Medina just couldn't get it down.
Great ball there from Toth. I love it. Knows there's only a few seconds left.
Well, Toth knows something about fashioning late goals. He scored his goal right at halftime of that playoff game. The buzzer hit 0, and a lot of Tacoma players and fans will tell you that the buzzer had gone by the time the ball had gone in, but it was inches apart. This time he almost turned provider, but the third quarter will come to an end at 4-3, and this game coming nicely to a boil as we head into the final 15 minutes.
What did we say in the pregame? What did we say before this thing got underway? These teams don't know how to play any other way than tightly contested, close soccer games, and we got another one on our hands. We got 15 exciting minutes upcoming, Mark.
Well, Tacoma came out trailing 3-1, bought it back to 3-3, but then the Sockers started to get their attack going again. Nate, what did they do differently after conceding that third goal to go on and retake the lead at 4-3?
Well, they went back to the possession-based soccer that we saw in the first quarter. They were patient and build up, and they said, hey, one great way to prevent Tacoma from being able to be direct, prevent them from being able to get down and pepper Chris Toth with shots is to not let them get the ball. And the possession was fantastic in that third quarter from the Sockers. The way it had kind of lapsed in that second quarter, we saw that possession soccer was really a focal point from Phil Salvaggio's gang in the first quarter. They lost a little bit of it in the second 15 minutes, and now here in that third quarter, they definitely came back to it. And I think it paid major dividends because it slowed down Tacoma just a little bit as far as the final 10 minutes or so of that third quarter. We should, of course, point out that Tacoma came out on fire in that third quarter and actually tied the score at 3 after trailing 3-1 at halftime. But Craig Childs getting the hat trick, finishing off the hat trick, and he may not be done this evening. Sees his team up 4-3 thanks to that go-ahead goal late on in that third period.
I am a CalCoast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at CalCoast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what CalCoast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
Play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
And the California Coast Credit Union. And not only that, there are donation bins around the stadium as well, but it's more fun to throw your socks onto the field, isn't it?
Well, as long as they're clean.
That's true. And Nate, during that time, you weren't supposed to throw your dress socks onto the field, but they'll take them.
They didn't tell me. They got a pretty good arm from up here. Come on. Had to show it off. Gotta say, I'm enjoying the Peter Griffin Family Guy enthusiasm booster there. Good new one, working that into the mix. Haven't seen that one yet this season.
So the fourth quarter is underway.
Peter Griffin just lit this place up. And we'll see if Craig Childs and Max DeLute, Scotty Martin, a few of the other players out there in this fourth quarter for the Sockers, see if they can light this crowd up, give them what they came to see. Some exciting indoor soccer, and obviously the most important thing, a win. Got a 4-3 lead as it stands right now, 30 seconds in to the final period.
Hesitant to say, though, that this will be the final 15 minutes, knowing these two sides.
We said that at halftime. Maybe there's going to be something more. We haven't had an overtime game here at the Valley View Casino Center this evening with the this season, I should say, with the Sockers. Maybe that'll change this evening. I'm sure Phil Salvaggio would say, no, let's not let that happen. Let's get a commanding lead here, get a couple of goals early on in this fourth quarter, and hit cruise control to the finish. Be strong all the way to the finish line.
Talk about the similarities between these sides. Both teams lost in Turlock, which is a very tough place to play, and both teams also won in a shootout against Dallas.
I like that you look at those schedules and you look at the teams that they've both lost to. Dallas and Turlock are both teams that the Sockers have beaten this season when playing here at the Valley View Casino Center. And so, you hear Sockers fans might have been away from the team for a little while. You hear about Turlock coming here next week, and you think about that 12-1 rout from the opening game. Well, Turlock,
Oliveira
almost score here.
Off the boards, and that should have been number 4 for Childs.
Real quickly to finish up. See Turlock coming in. It's the rubber match, really, thus far in the season between the two teams. Turlock got a little bit of revenge back in Stanislaus County this last road trip for the Sockers.
Jurtson shows his strength, and the Stars back in possession.
Felipe Gonzalez did not like that challenge.
McCloskey gets it back to Peterson. Kyrell. And Kyrell wins the free kick. Sockers players thought he was looking for that one. This is Johnson. Unable to get through Oliveira. And the Brazilian splits the double team. Leaves it off in the corner for Tovar. Picks his head up. And patience again from the Sockers. Now they'll bring Toth into the attack. Final 12 minutes of regulation. And Serta wants more movement up top as he leaves it off for Toth. Queiroz. Oh, what a touch that almost was from Escoto. And Medina guides it back to his keeper. Both sides making changes. Final 11 minutes and 15 seconds of regulation. Sockers holding on to a 4-3 lead.
Three goals from Craig Childs this evening. Sockers have needed every one of them.
A 2-on-1 could be developing here. Matt Clare trying to get back, has to get in front of McCluskey, but Toth did. Tlut. This one bought down for Childs. Childs out wide for Tlut. Tried to flick it back to Childs. Into the hands of Waltman. Tremendous distribution, almost got it right down the middle. Ramos gets it off to Keats. Mason spins. Clare.
Good stuff.
Lovely through ball.
Great stuff from Clare there.
Oliveira streaming down the far side. Leaves it off for Tovar. Needed to sort his feet out, but was unable to. Good touch from Martin. Childs. And Waltman had it covered. Plays his angle so well, Danny Waltman.
Good smother again by Waltman.
First in the league in minutes last year, Danny Waltman.
One of the most trusted netminders in this entire league. One of the best that you're going to find in all of indoor soccer.
Gonzalez keeps a watchful eye on Keats. Into the quarter for Antoniuk. And the other way for Gonzalez. Has a step on Keats. Lays it off to the back post. Tovar just wasn't expecting it.
Tovar just sticks out a leg there. Might be a goal for the Sockers. Just came in so quickly. Wasn't ready for it.
Beautifully fashioned move from the Sockers. Just needed the final touch.
We've played almost half of this final quarter. And it hasn't been really much at all between these two sides in the opening 6.5 minutes that has been played. Could be on pins and needles all the way to the close of this thing. It stays just the 1-goal advantage for the home side and the white unis tonight. Scotty Martin just kind of bowls over right there. Vince McCluskey.
That's one way to defend.
Treat McCluskey like a bowling pin. Get everybody back.
That's Kyrell who's over it.
The resident Luis Hernandez lookalike.
Off
Joseph
the boards.
Kyrell.
And Kyrell will play it back. Just under 8 minutes in regulation. This one hangs in the balance. 4-3, San Diego leads Tacoma. Moan. These two teams will meet 3 more times this season in the Pacific Division.
I wonder if they ever get tired of each other. They always seem to play exciting soccer when they go head-to-head.
Derek Johnson floats it to the back post for Ramos, just unable to bring it down.
Oh, look at that that second touch.
Beautiful
Oh!
spin and off the inside.
Oh, so fortunate to have that one just bounce back into the midsection. Unbelievable. Ramos, 3 times tonight now, has been inches away from scoring a goal. He somehow, some way, still hasn't scored this evening.
And that's exactly how Jamel Cox scored the first goal, cutting inside, and then when it looked like he was going far, zipping it into the near. And this time Toth was lucky to see it go off the post. As we have a timeout on the floor, 7 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. And San Diego still with the 4-3 lead. In the deep end, in full party mode. One thing I wanted to talk about earlier, but as so much action, had to get back to it. The Força Chape sign from the deep end, such a tremendous gesture for the Brazilian team and all 71 members who lost their life on that flight headed to Colombia.
It's just a horrible tragedy that has really shaken the foundation of the beautiful game all over the world. And we've seen so many beautiful gestures from fans of teams all over the world to players all over the world to just human beings all over the world, seeing people come together in the face of a horrible tragedy like that absolutely tragic plane crash that happened earlier this week. It has been a little bit of beauty found in a very, very ugly and just such a sad story. If there is one other example that I'd like to highlight, Mark, I know you saw the videos of what happened in Medellin on Wednesday night, on the night when that Copa Sudamericana game would have happened, when the first leg would have happened, the game that Chapecoense were going to. The fans of Atlético Nacional in Medellin, they packed the stadium, plus about 100,000 flowing out onto the streets outside the stadium as if the game was happening and sang Chapecoense songs all night. It was one of the most beautiful gestures that I've ever seen. So cheers to Atlético Nacional.
Salute. Right at Waltman. And of course, everyone from the MASL and the San Diego Soccer sends our thoughts and prayers to those affected by the tragedy.
It was a lovely gesture from the club before this game got underway. And it's something that we don't want the thoughts to go away. Keep singing that Chapecoense song forever and ever. Remember these players. Remember all the different staff members and even media members and broadcasters who were sadly had their lives taken too soon. Let them live on forever.
Lee. Oh! Another stunning save from Chris Toth to keep it at 4-3. Called into action again. This time it goes over.
Superhero night. Chris Toth wearing the cape yet again. What a save from number 31. You saw Toth, though, not all too happy with the guys in the field in white there, saying, hey, cut down the angles. Not sure how many times I can rescue you. But that was absolutely beautiful stuff from Toth in goal.
Final 6 minutes. Toth asking Queiroz to check in. Childs being watched by McNeely. Oliveira. The 1-2 with Childs.
All ball on that challenge. Great stuff at the back again from Tacoma. We still haven't had a goal here in this final quarter. Played almost 10 minutes.
Sockers will be content with that. They have the 1-goal lead. On a bit of heavy touch from Claire, but he's able to rescue the situation.
They'd be content with the end result, but not sure how much Phil Salvaggio wants to go through 5 minutes on pins and needles. True squeaky bum time to close out this game if it stays with just the 1-goal lead.
And then in about the next 2 minutes, you have to wonder when the Tacoma Stars are going to send on the 6th attacker.
Absolutely. When Danny Waltman gets the call, he'll be sprinting straight to the bench.
There's a great slide from Kyrell to keep Reza from shooting. Oh, it's a nice move. Played off to the boards and sent just wide from Escoto. Oh, he is such a silky player, Brendan Escoto.
Oh, man. That again, almost highlight reel material there. Coming oh so close.
Well, it was like that goal he scored against Dallas. It was a super individual effort. Then Waltman plays this one out of bounds, but he was over that 3/4 line. Allows the Sockers to make changes with 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Well, Medina getting himself into a little bit of trouble here. Comes away with it. Queiroz, the 40-year-old, rolls it out wide. And he'll get it back. On left on, but no one's there. Played for Megson. Still with it, Megson. Clips it out wide. Peterson. 3.5 minutes left, and Waltman will get it in midfield. Henson. Clipped into the corner for Ramos. Overlap from Johnson. Into the middle. And slid through the arc. And posting up, sliding is Antoniuk. Almost able to get it off for Ramos. Instead, it's the Sockers to go the other way, but it hits off Talut. 3 minutes left.
Tacoma wanted a foul there moments ago, Mark. Didn't get one.
Ramos working on Reza. Does well to force Ramos out wide. It's Ramos again. Into the middle, Antoniuk let it run underneath his foot.
Yeah, they just can't fully clear their lines. Ball just stays in the Sockers' half here. Tacoma are pressing. They want this equalizer. Can they get it?
It's Cox. His shot is blocked. And then McNeely's effort is charged down by Talut. Childs thought he won it cleanly, but instead it's going to be a free kick for Evan McNeely and the Tacoma Stars with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left.
Oh,
and now Childs could be in real trouble here.
On Childs, he scored after he stopped it. Play had been halted. There's no goal. And now referee's going to have a conference with his fellow men in green.
Well, let's
Childs
see
was
what's going
standing
to
over
happen.
the free kick, Mark. That's what it was.
Childs is saying if he played it before I could even back up, then what was I supposed to do?
Where was I supposed to go?
Well, that was interesting from the referee, too, because his hand was definitely in his pocket.
Look, he pulled out the card, then he retracted it.
So we stay at 5-on-5. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left, and Toth won't mind that at all.
Man, San Diego really dodging a bullet there. Craig Childs almost committing a bit of a mental error on a night where he's been, without a doubt, the man of the match.
And the Tacoma Stars bench, nobody's changing into a six-man jersey. Such is the confidence they have in Danny Waltman to play with his feet.
Well, let Waltman basically push up and be your extra attacker. Why not? Well, now you see Waltman pushing up out here. Here we go. Here it is.
Serda's going to have to close him down. Into the corner for McCluskey. Good defending from Scotty Martin. Looks like the battle lines have been drawn. The Sockers have to hang on for a final minute and 50 seconds. Tacoma Stars are going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at them.
Is there a goal in that kitchen sink? It's the only question that matters here. They've been throwing everything at them really since the start of the second half.
More resolute defending from Scotty Martin. And a clash of heads as well, but both players look to be okay.
On the foul going against Tacoma. Break there for Alex Megson. Looked like two players just giving everything they could for their teams to get to that ball.
And hammered downfield for Martin.
Great touch by Scotty Martin.
It's 2-on-2. Game, set, match, San Diego. And it's Craig Childs. Who else?
His night, his time, his finish. Craig Childs, how about you now? 5-3 San Diego. We were waiting for that moment to light the Valley View Casino Center up. Well, we had to wait almost 59 minutes for it. But my goodness, it came right there from Craig Childs. His fourth goal on the night. On a night has been very low scoring. 5-3 now the score. 4 of those 5 tallies for San Diego from their main man, the fan favorite, the pride of Poway, number 37, Craig Childs.
296 as the record watch continues. And now as we look at this kickoff, look at where Danny Waltman is. So they're going with a 4-man front line. Waltman is going to play as that 6th attacker.
His game ain't over just yet. Tacoma go up and get one here, maybe in the next 20 or 30 seconds.
McNeely stung the gloves of Toth.
Acrobatic stuff there from Karel. It's a silly foul there from Talut. I want to go back to the assist. The second assist of the night from Scotty Martin. Lovely touch. We don't exactly associate silky football with Scotty Martin. It was As good of a touch as we've seen from anybody all night. That first time little layoff there on the goal from Craig Childs moments ago.
Kyrell off the boards. He wins it back. Tigerish work from Joseph Kyrell. 45 seconds left. Kairos loses out. Henson disguises his pass into the corner off the boards and cleared out, but it's going to be a delay of game. So the ball is going to come back to the top of the arc.
One of the fans showing off his skills, heading the ball right back on. It's going to be another opportunity here. And you see, I love this, you see Waltman coming over. I think he was maybe pitching his claim to say, can I take it, can I take it?
Three-man wall for the Sockers. McNeely gets it out wide. Toth with another save.
Oh!
Super Toth. 30 seconds left, and the net is empty.
Oh, no, a nasty collision. Waltman got taken out.
Megson one-on-one with Toth.
Another save from Toth. This is incredible.
And Zay Roberto takes it off the feet of McNeely. And he's going to get the free kick. And it's going to be a blue card for Kyrell. And surely that's going to do it. As now it's going to be 4-on-5.
Of Felipe Gonzalez on this near side. As soon as the blue card was shown, just turning back, gesturing to the crowd. Let's go. Let's end this game as loud as we've been all night, fans. Let's end this game as passionate and as intense as we've been all night, San Diego Sockers players. Love the crescendo of this game. Love the way this thing has come to the mountaintop, and they finally peaked literally at the peak of the game, at the very end of this ascent. What a great finish for the Sockers this evening, closing out this Friday night at the Valley View Casino Center, Mark.
And the Sockers will now have won 16 of their last 20 home matches. Or excuse me, 17 of their last 20 home matches, as they end up 5-3 over the Tacoma Stars in a tremendous battle, and they are led by their inspirational captain, Craig Childs, with 4 goals.
It's really the only 2 words that you can say as far as the main storylines of tonight. I mean, the goalkeeping was fantastic. Let's not forget about what we saw from Chris Toth, especially down the stretch there from the San Diego Sockers netminder. You see all the Sockers players going straight to their goalie, really, before anyone, but then straight over to the captain as well. Those are definitely the 2 characters on the Sockers side. And take nothing away from Danny Waltman, the goalkeeper on the Tacoma side. Waltman kept his team in this game all night long. The fact that it was as close as it was, really a testament to the performance from Waltman, and the fact that the Sockers hold on for this win, very much a testament to Chris Toth. And you love the goalkeepers union in full effect down there, Mark, right now, as both Toth and Waltman are embracing each other and having a little keeper-to-keeper chat real quick before going back and gathering with their respective teammates. The Knights of Craig Childs and Chris Toth pitching in with a helping hand or 2 and foot or 2 as well in goal.
With the win, the teams will flip positions. The San Diego Sockers now in first place in the Pacific Division, but the Tacoma Stars do have a game in hand, and they will play that game on Sunday in their first ever meeting with Atletico Baja in Tijuana. For the Sockers, and that means you and me as well, will be right back here next week when they face off against the Turlock Express, and you have to feel that this will be the game that Craig Childs finally surpasses Bronco Segota. He's at 296 and Segota at 298.
2 goals to tie, 3 to hit 299, and there could be a 300th goal, perhaps, if he replicates what he did tonight, if he scores 4 more next Friday night against the boys from Stanislaus County. It'll be 300. It'll have broken Bronco Segoto's record. There's so many great storylines coming into that game. And as far as the teams next week, too, Mark, rubber match as far as the first 3 games between these teams. They'll see each other again before the season is over, but they've each beat the other early on in the season, and Turlock really took a whooping back on the opening night of the season when the Sockers scored 12 to Turlock's 1 in that game, but the Express, they got him back in Turlock on this last road trip for the Sockers. So excited to see those 2 teams go toe-to-toe again next Friday night.
And for the Sockers, Nate, I think tonight you really saw a unified team, a team that was able to face adversity, that really dug in and fought for each other when things got tough. They said they've really focused on spending a lot of time together off the field as well and really learning how to gel so that they'd fight for each other on the field. And we're starting to see that in this team.
We're definitely starting to see that in this team, and I think a lot of that comes back to good leadership. Comes back to Phil Salvaggio as a coach. It comes back to Sean Bowers, the general manager. It comes back to a rejuvenation of the culture here with the San Diego Sockers. It comes back to a guy like Craig Childs, who can not only lead emotionally and psychologically, the important things that you need from a captain, from a guy who is, for all intents and purposes, he's a coach as well on this team. It also helps to lead by example as a player when we talk all you want about emotional and psychological leaders and those great veterans who can give a boost to a team because they're good guys, they're great presences in the locker room. Well, if that guy can also score 4 of your 5 goals in a 5-3 win, you got a pretty good recipe brewing, San Diego Sockers.
And this was exactly the game that we expected. And the good news is that we're going to have 3 more games between these 2 teams.
Can't wait to see these 2 teams go toe-to-toe again. The next time will actually be later this month, Sunday, December 18th, back up north, up in Washington, in Tacoma. 3:05 p.m. kickoff on Sunday, December 18th. That's the next time these 2 teams will go toe-to-toe. And then we'll see the Tacoma Stars back here at the Valley View Casino Center on Friday, February 3rd for another 7:35 p.m. Friday night kickoff. But the one that we got circled and highlighted, it's the next one. Next Friday night, December the 9th, right back here at the Valley View Casino Center. The 3rd encounter this season here in this young MASL season between the home side, the San Diego Sockers, and the boys from Stanislaus County, the Turlock Express. But good game tonight, great win, great team win for the Sockers, and great night for fan favorites. Great night for Scotty Martin tonight. 2 assists, including that last one, that fantastic touch, that first touch out of the air to set up Craig Childs for the 5th and final goal, the one that spawned your fantastic game set match call, because that's exactly what it was. You just knew that was it. That was the capper, and loved seeing this place come alive. The volcano erupted right there on that 5th goal, and great night for the Sockers. Congratulations to this team, and time to get right back to work.
So a week off for the San Diego Sockers, a week off for us as well, for everybody here at the San Diego Sockers, for Dave Evenson, Ross Callan, and my partner, Nate Abarea. I'm Mark Serber saying goodnight from the Valley View Casino Center, where it finishes the San Diego Sockers 5, the Tacoma Stars 3.